Good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, stand up. And you degens, wake up and get your coffee. As the fire department of New York City is driving by my house, we got a special message from my guy, number 99. And here it is. Yes, sir. Number 99 with number 58 and 59. Welcome to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. This is Monday, September 19th, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. And like I say, you degens, wake up and get your coffee. Shout out to my guy, Mikey Maz on the 4 Train Express. Good morning, Hector. KOD Nation, Yankees Universe, and all you degenerates. Take a seat on the 4 Train Express, grab your cup of coffee, and enjoy another edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. You know what, Mazza, that is a great sentiment to start out this Monday episode. You know, yes, the Yankees should have won this series, right? Especially Friday. Friday, we damn near had the Brewers on the ropes. We should have won this series, right? But we cannot reminisce on the past. We just got to keep on looking forward. Just like here on the Knights of Degen channel, we are sitting at 674 on our way to 700 and more. So if you guys can hit that like button, comment on the video after it's up on YouTube. It helps out with the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button if this is your first time here. And welcome to the kingdom. Now we got a special guest for tomorrow. If you guys know, Derek from NY Recap will be on the show. And tomorrow is going to be an awesome episode. But before I continue, before I go further, I had a little technical difficulties Thursday and Fridays when I was trying to play some video. I don't know what the problem was, but I got a video I want to play here. You know, it's baseball related, non-Yankee related, but you know, I want to give a quick shout out, right? Because it is Hispanic Heritage Month, right? Right now in Puerto Rico, Hurricane Fiona is going through the island, and it's going through and the storm is real strong. But I want to give a shout out to Roberto Clemente, being the first Latin player in Major League Baseball, and as well being one of my fellow countrymen, being from Puerto Rico. Roberto Clemente was one of the best, if not best, Latin players to ever play this game. Albert Pujols is creeping on 700 home runs. Albert Pujols would be in that conversation with Roberto Clemente. But Roberto Clemente was more than just a baseball player. He was a humanitarian who put the needs of others before his own, and he died the way he lived his life, looking out for other people. So Roberto Clemente and to the Roberto Clemente family, my thoughts and prayers and loves go to you guys all. Like I said, it is Hispanic Heritage Month. I think we'll take different times out this month to highlight different Latin players in Major League Baseball. Some that you know and some that you don't know. But like I said, hats and prayers and thoughts goes out to everybody who's on the island right now dealing with Hurricane Fiona as we speak. And let's enjoy the rest of this month. He was an ambassador, not only baseball to his country as well. Absolutely. Being a proud Puerto Rican myself, I know that. But on to these baseball conversations. Like I said, the Yankees this weekend, they should have won the game on Friday, right? You know, Saturday it was Milwaukee's game. No matter what happened, our offense was shot. Josh Donaldson did come up, you know, but bright spots on yesterday's game. Anthony Rizzo had his first game back off the IL, and Anthony Rizzo came through. Anthony Rizzo actually had 3 hits yesterday in his first game back. If you guys saw the post game conference with Aaron Boone, Aaron Boone, a little funny. You know, you get those little moments from Aaron Boone when he's funny. But he was talking about how, well, we're glad he didn't waste this in a rehab game, which is true. You know, it's awesome whenever we have a player that's going through his rehab games, and it is kind of sucks when they waste their home runs or their extra hits in the rehab games. But now that Anthony Rizzo's back, Aaron Judge had some protection behind them a little bit. Gleyber Torres has heating up. You guys saw Gleyber Torres this weekend. It was phenomenal. Is Gleyber Torres back to the old Gleyber Torres before the trade deadline, before these rumors? We don't know. We're just going to have to see moving forward. And as well, a report from the minor leagues, Harrison Bader had a phenomenal weekend. Harrison Bader rehab games have been phenomenal. Harrison Bader should be back in the Bronx this Tuesday. And shout out to my guy, Anthony D. Salute. Hope all is well, Anthony D. Yo, Anthony, just know the revolution is coming, bro. Just, you know, just stay packed and be ready. My man, Judge is killing it. My guy, G-Ram, what it do, baby? If you missed the G-Ram, I'm just saying thoughts and prayers to everybody who's out there on the island. You know, Hurricane Fiona is going through the island right now, and it's tearing things apart. So I hope you and your family is doing good out there, brother. Torres is a bum, overrated. This second half of the season, he's been horrible. He's been horrible. First half of the season, he was borderline all-star. I agree with you. Right now, he's been playing horribly. But over these past weekend, past week, I should say, dating back to the Tampa Bay series, Gleyber Torres has been coming through. So it's September 19th. We got, I think, 12 games left to play for the regular season. If Gleyber Torres could catch on fire going down the stretch, you got Anthony Rizzo coming back. You know, if we could get Giancarlo Stanton going and clicking on all cylinders, hitting on all cylinders, I think the Yankees will be good. Especially going into the playoffs. That's exactly what we need out of Giancarlo going into the playoffs. When you look at the standing, Toronto lost yesterday against the Baltimore Orioles. Shout out to the Baltimore Orioles. My man G-Rad said, we good and doing well. Thanks, bro. G-Ram, man, if you know of any organizations or anything like that, you know, specifically people from the island are putting together, please let me know, bro. Shoot me a DM on Twitter. Let me know. That way I could put that out there. We can start, you know, getting people's eyes to it and start getting money over there to the organization that is on the island. Project outside of that one season, he's all right. Honestly, Anthony D, I honestly think that Gleyber Torres will be traded in the offseason this offseason, especially if he catches on fire towards the end of the season. I definitely believe that he's going to be traded. But if you look at the schedule, like I was saying, look at the standings, like I was saying, camera's wobbly. The Yankees, we got some luck. Shout out to the Baltimore Orioles, because the Baltimore Orioles have been killing it. But Toronto lost yesterday against the Orioles. The Yankees have a 5.5 game lead in the division on Toronto and a 6 game lead on Tampa Bay. We got 12 games left to go. Tampa Bay and Toronto's schedule is a little bit tough going down the stretch. Like I say, they have 3 more games to play against each other. They had a 5-game series during the week where we were able to expand our lead in the division a little bit more, you know. My man Anthony D said Yankees are built incorrectly. I 100% agree. AD, I 100% agree with you, bro. There's no reason why this Yankee team, especially, this has been an issue for us for the past 3 or 4 years. We still do not have a prototypical leadoff hitter. We don't have a leadoff hitter on the top of this lineup. Oh, I got another one. My man Ron. Still Knicks fans. Hey guys, you know, you know me. I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but as well, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. If you guys haven't checked out Still Knicks fans, I don't know what you guys are doing. I know a lot of you guys are from the kingdom. You guys aren't familiar with the Knicks universe that I used to travel in. But Ron and John from Still Knicks verse, and as well, I think Jose, who's behind the boards at nighttime on Mondays, tune into my guys. They give you valuable information, especially with us Knicks fans that go through PTSD the way we do. We need somebody who can steer the ship properly, and both Ron and John, they do great things together. But salute to my guy Eric Wallace at the same time. Eric Dub, what it do, what it do, what it do. Yeah. And if you look at this division race is, I think it's safe to say that the Yankees are good. We got Pittsburgh coming in for 2 games, right? We got, let's see, right after that, we got Pittsburgh that are coming in for 2 games. After Pittsburgh, we have the Red Sox for 4. Then we start a 3-game series with the Toronto Blue Jays. So if we could just take 2 out of 2 from Pittsburgh, 3 out of 4 from Boston, as long as we're sitting good right before that series with the Blue Jays, we should be all good. Now, when you look at the Blue Jays schedule, before they see us, I should say, is this. The Blue Jays, they have 2-game series against the Phillies coming up. The same way we got a 2-game series against the Pirates. Then after the Phillies, Toronto has a 4-game series set with the Tampa Bay Rays. So Toronto and Tampa Bay, they play each other 4 times before we get to see Toronto. As long as they keep on beating up on each other, Yankees should be good, bro. Yankees should be good. That's 1, 2. I just want to make sure it's 4 games. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 games against the Tampa Bay Rays, and then 3 games against the Yankees. And then they finish the season out against the Red Sox, which we really don't care. We really don't care. As long as I said it before, as long as Toronto and Tampa can keep on beating up on each other, we should be good. Now, when you look at the standings for the rest of Major League Baseball, you got the Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox battling it out for first place in the Central Division. But this is interesting, right? Because the AL Central, it's not a laughing stock. I'm not going to say it's a laughing stock, but oh, my man Eric Dub. Eric, I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna love the content that they got over there, bro. Eric, you know I don't steer you wrong, Eric Dubs. Trust you. You're gonna love the content that they got over there at Still Knicks fans. Of course, Ron. Of course, Ron. And plus, also, Ron has the best like AM radio voice, right? Ron has a future career at WFAN. I'm putting that out there right now, but I guarantee you Ron will be on WFAN, probably the late night. You guys start on the late night tip, right? You know, you start, like Steve Summers, you got to start with the late nights, but Ron has that voice that needs to be on the radio waves. Definitely. But when you look at it, like I said, the Guardians, Chicago, and Minnesota, they're battling for first place in the AL Central. But this is the kicker, because you got Toronto, Tampa, and Baltimore, right? Those 3 teams in our division. If Baltimore was in the AL Central, they have a better record than the Chicago White Sox. Let that sink in right there. If Baltimore was in the AL Central, the Baltimore Orioles would be battling for first place in that division, because Baltimore's record is 76-69 and the Guardians' record is 79-67. That's how good the American League East has been this entire season. I know a lot of people at the beginning of the year when the Yankees were had an 80% win percentage, right? Everybody was talking about, oh, the Yankees are just beating up on bad teams. Stop it. Stop it. The division speaks for itself. When you have a division where you have Toronto and Tampa Bay, which will be in first place in the AL Central, both teams because of their record, stop it. Stop it. Like there's a legit argument, especially when you look at the wild card standings. The top 4 teams are Toronto, Tampa, Seattle, and then Baltimore. Baltimore is battling trying to get that last wild card spot. And it's going to be crazy if Baltimore can get it. Because it basically is the American League East versus a couple teams from the Central and from the West. That's it. That's crazy. That's how it's coming down to the wire. If you would have told me, Mazza, at the beginning of the year that this is how the division would shape up, I wouldn't have believed you. And also, if you are a Baltimore Oriole fan, you have to be super excited for the future. You have to be. You have Ali Rushman, right? You got Rodriguez, the pitcher coming up, Grayson Rodriguez coming up, the shortstop, Gunnar Henderson, who, first of all, that's a baseball name if I ever heard one. Gunnar Henderson, the shortstop. Those 3 players right there, and plus the other top prospects that the Baltimore Orioles have that I can't remember off the top of my head. Those 3 players right there, they're going to be special in this game for a long time, especially Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman starting next season, whether anyone would like to admit it, Adley Rutschman is going to be considered, in my eyes, Adley Rutschman is going to be the best catcher in all of Major League Baseball next year, offensively and defensively. Starting next year, he will be considered the best in Major League Baseball. But let's take a deep dive into yesterday's game. And let's start off with the Brew Crew, if we can. Let me get them up right here. The Milwaukee Brewers, like I said, Christian Yelich led off the game. He was 1 for 4 in left field. Willie Adames, he was a Yankee killer this weekend. I'm not going to lie. He is hitting 230, 240 for the season, but this weekend, he was looking like a little Manny Ramirez out there in Milwaukee. But Willie Adames, the shortstop, was 2 for 4. Roddy Tellez, the DH, he was 1 for 4. Hunter Refno in right field, he was 0 for 4. Colton Wong, the second baseman, was 3 for 4. The third baseman, Urias. Honestly, he really does look like the Urias from the Baltimore Orioles. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're brothers. But Urias, the third baseman, was 1 for 5. Hiurara, the first baseman, was 0 for 5. Navarez, the catcher, was 0 for 4. And Tyrod Taylor, the center fielder, was 3 for 4. And he took a hit away from Judge. If it wasn't for Taylor in that first inning, Judge would have been 5 for 5. And it's crazy to think about it, that this season, Aaron Judge, the Triple Crown is literally going to fall into his lap. I'll speak on that a little bit more. But to the pitching side of things, Jason Alexander, and everybody was joking, oh, not the guy from Seinfeld. Ha, ha, ha. I kept hearing that joke, and the first time it was funny. The second time I was like, all right. The third time you're beating a dead drum. And that's what Michael K does. Michael K, he beats the dead horse, right? He's a broken record on repeat. Michael K is a perfect example of a dad that heard a joke from his child, and he's just repeating the joke in every different space that he's at. He heard the joke from his kid at home, so he's going to work the next day to tell the same joke. And then he's going to the bowling alley after the game, after work, to tell the same joke, and so on and so on and so on. But Jason Alexander, not from Seinfeld, he pitched 3 2/3. He gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Milner came in afterwards. He pitched the third of an inning and gave up a hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Topa came in afterwards. He pitched a third of an inning, no hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Suter came in afterwards. Suter pitched 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeouts. Perdomo came in afterwards, pitched the inning in 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and a strikeout. And then you had Kelly, who closed it out for the Brew Crew. He pitched 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and 2 strikeout. The losing pitcher of record is Milner. His record is 3-3 on this season. Let's see. They are brothers. After review, the Yuri's got. Oh, they are. See, shout out to my guy Kev, BX Sports Jedi, because he asked me that question yesterday, and I wasn't really sure. But seeing them, I'm like, yeah. They definitely got to be brothers. Thank you, Eric, for that. Appreciate that, Eric. But now let's go over to the Yankee side of things. If we go over to the Yankee side of things, we got the Yankees. Hold on. Technology, folks. The Yankee side of things. Aaron Judge, like I said, he should have been 5 for 5, but Aaron Judge in center field, he was 4 for 5. Anthony Rizzo, the first baseman, was 3 for 6. Shout out to Anthony Rizzo. We definitely needed this type of game from Rizzo coming back off the IL. Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, was 1 for 4. Josh Donaldson, who seems like he's heating up. This is what we've been waiting for. Josh Donaldson, the third baseman, was 1 for 4, and he had a phenomenal glove play. I'm not going to lie. Josh Donaldson looked awesome this weekend. Giancarlo Stanton, the DH, he was 0 for 5, trying to find his flow. He hit the ball hard. Urias couldn't make the play. He was able to reach safely at first base. But Oswaldo Cabrera, the right fielder, he was 3 for 4. He was a triple shy away from the cycle. He had a home run, a double, and a single. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for the shortstop was 1 for 5. Honestly, if you're not going to play Peraza, send them down to the minors. You can't even do that anymore because the weekend's over. The minor league season is over. Jesus Christ. But Kyle Higashioka, the catcher, was 1 for 5. And Aaron Hicks, he had a home run and a double. The left fielder, a home run and a single, I should say. The left fielder, yeah, whatever. It's Aaron Hicks. He just brought himself a whole extra year playing for the Yankees. Yeah, he's going to be a Yankee next year, especially when there's no shift. It's horrible to even think about. But Gerrit Cole, the ace of our staff, which is not looking like an ace, he was struggling. He pitched 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Clark Smith came in afterwards. Clark Smith pitched 2 1/3. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Jonathan Loizaga, he pitched 2/3, 1 hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Wandy Peralta, the ageless one, Wandy struggled. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, couldn't even get an out. Those runs charged to him. Clay Holmes gave up the hit, but Wandy Peralta, no walks, no strikeouts. And Clay Holmes seemed like he's still trying to figure it out. He pitched the inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. The winning pitcher of record is Gerrit Cole, who improves his record to 12-7. Gerrit Cole, he's struggling, right? This goes back not to his last start he had, but the start he had against the Minnesota Twins when he had 14 strikeouts. Was it awesome to see him get those 14 strikeouts? It absolutely was. He was dominating. Got 14 strikeouts. Who doesn't want to see your pitcher strike out 14, especially your ace of the staff, right? This is when I had an issue. And this is when Gerrit Cole always has issues. In that game against the Minnesota Twins, Gerrit Cole pitched 7 innings. Gerrit Cole threw 116, 117 pitches at the same time. Gerrit Cole, I'm not sure if I'm the only Yankee fan that notices this, but whenever Gerrit Cole has a start where he throws, hold on, let's see, Minnesota, he pitched 6 2/3, right? Whenever Gerrit Cole pitches and he throws over 110 pitches, his next 2 outings, he struggles horribly. Am I the only Yankee fan that notices that? Please, write in the chat. Let me know if you guys noticed that. My man Mikey Mazza said, nice to see Oswaldo Cabrera go 3 for 4. That was a bright spot. Don't understand why they bring up Peraza and not play him. Yeah, bro, it makes no sense. It honestly makes no sense, bro. But, guys, let me know. Am I the only person that noticed it? And plus, yes, you got EMS outside the window. I apologize if you guys can hear it. But am I the only Yankee fan that notices it? All right. Am I the only Yankee fan that notices whenever he throws over 110 pitches, he struggles the next 3 outings? Against Boston, he pitched 6 innings. He gave up 4 runs. Against Milwaukee, he pitched 5 innings and gave up 4 runs. Hopefully, what I notice, it ends for his next start, and that's out the window. My man, NY Yankee King, what is good, bro? Salute, salute, salute. NY Yankee King, I'm telling you, bro, go back, look back if you can, go through Gerrit Cole's starts this year, right? The starts where he's struggling, 3 starts in a row, 2 starts in a row. Look at one of the starts prior to that, right? When he pitches almost 7 or 8 innings, gives up no runs. Whenever Gerrit Cole throws over 110 pitches in an outing, he struggles the next few outings, right? This is not me trying to find a silver lining for Gerrit Cole or trying to, put up defense for Gerrit Cole. It's nothing like that. Gerrit Cole needs to be called out for what's happening right now. Point blank, period. Gerrit Cole, you making $300 million, bro. Making $300 million. I was having a conversation with Kev, BX Sports Jedi, over the past 20 years, right? You got different Yankee pitchers that have come in to this organization. You say 22 years back, since 2000, 2001. Let's look back at it, right? Kevin Brown. We can all agree that Gerrit Cole has been better than Kevin Brown. Absolutely. Javier Vasquez. No argument here. Javier Vasquez was horrible. Let's see. Randy Johnson. Now, Randy Johnson had that one, you could say it was a good year in 2005. 2006, he pitched for the ERA over 4. Let's see. Carl Pavano. That's not even a conversation. The only 2 pitchers that we can say Gerrit Cole hasn't been better than has been Gerrit. Yeah, hilarious monster. Has been CC Sabathia and Masahiro Tanaka. Since 2000, those are the only 2 pitchers that the Yankees have imported that have been better than Gerrit Cole. Now, with Tanaka, it's 50-50. Who's better, him or Gerrit Cole? Who has been better? I give it to Cole because Cole has pitched every start. Tanaka was injured a lot of the time, right? Tanaka was filthy when he first came on the scene, especially in 2015 when they had Tanaka Tuesday and stuff like that. But then once the elbow started barking, Tanaka didn't really seem the same. And it seemed like he was scared to throw his fastball, right? But besides CC and Tanaka, those are the only 2 pitchers that you could say have been better than Gerrit Cole, right? Now, does that fall on? Okay, Hiroki Kuroda. Okay, you could throw him into the conversation, right? But when the Yankees got Kuroda, I don't think the Yankees got him with the expectations of him being a number 1, right? When we got CC, we expected him to be a number 1. When we got Tanaka, we expected him to be a number 1. When we got Kevin Brown, when we got Javier Vasquez, when we got Randy Johnson, we expected those players to be number 1. Hiroki Kuroda was a unexpected surprise for the Yankees that he turned out to be that good, because pitching with the Yankees, he was better than what he did with the Dodgers, right? That's no knock, but yeah, Mazda definitely. Kuroda, you could put him into that conversation. But I bring this up to say this. In the postseason, and we've talked about these numbers, CC Sabathia, before he went on that run in 2009, his postseason numbers were horrible. Roger Clemens, before he had a few solid starts in the postseason, his stats in the postseason was horrible, right? Gerrit Cole, the issue with Gerrit Cole is that he's his worst enemy. Whenever Gerrit Cole struggles, it seems like he's having a mental battle with himself. Gerrit Cole needs to realize that A, he is the ace of the staff, and B, recognize that, bro, you have an 100-mile-per-hour fastball. You got a curveball that breaks off the table at 80 miles per hour. find whatever repertoire works for you and stick with it. It seems like Gerrit Cole, he gets scared to throw his fastball. And sometimes he relies too much on his off-speed pitch for a strike. You got to be able to mix and match it. Like the perfect example is Jacob deGrom. If you guys saw Jacob deGrom, his first 5 innings yesterday, he struck out 13 of the 15 batters he faced. He was phenomenal. That 6th inning, he got lit up. Of course, O'Neal Cruz hit a bomb, but deGrom's coming back off an injury. He got to find his rhythm. And 5 innings, 13 strikeouts, that's a hell of a rhythm. I'm not going to lie. That is a hell of a rhythm. But going forward, Gerrit Cole, we need you, Gerrit Cole, to put your big boy pants on. Put your big boy pants on, pull them up all the way, put that belt, tie it, and take us to the promised land, bro. This postseason run is all going to fall into the hands of Gerrit Cole. Now, us Yankee fans, I think we can agree that this season so far, Nestor Cortes has been the best pitcher on the staff. I think we could agree that. But the issue with Nestor Cortes is right now, they're trying to hold back his innings and trying to save him for the postseason. Nestor Cortes never pitched these innings before. This is uncharted territory for Nestor Cortes. And I know I've said it so many times that, you know, after the season, Nestor Cortes pitches in winter ball and he's constantly pitching and playing baseball. And yes, that's true. But you cannot compare. And this is something, as much as I love Nestor Cortes, you cannot compare winter ball with major league pitching or major league innings. So if we look right now, Nestor Cortes, he's at 140 innings on the season. Last year was his career high at 93 innings. 2020, the pandemic season, he was battling injuries, going back and forth between the minors and the majors. He was with Seattle during that year, but in 2019, he pitched 66 and 2/3 of an inning with the Yankees. So he's had, let's see, how many big league seasons under this belt since 2018. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big league seasons. 2 of those seasons, he threw over 60 innings, 66 and 93 innings. This is the only time in his big league career he's thrown these many innings. I can't even find his minor league numbers, right? To see if he ever threw those type of numbers in the minor leagues, which if I had to bet money on it, I would bet against it. My man Mazza said that's about 20% more than what he's thrown his entire career innings wise. It absolutely is. Matter of fact, if you take the 66 innings that he threw one year and the 93 innings that he threw the next year, you're literally at the same amount of innings. That's literally probably just it's a little bit over 150 innings. Let's do the math right now because I couldn't do the math in my head. Let's do the math right now. That's 159 innings. He's at 140. So he's 19 innings away in the minors. Because I was just looking at his major league numbers. Yeah. And if he did it in the minors, then I'll take that back. But in the majors, L.I. King, 2018 with Baltimore, he threw only 4 2/3. In 2019 with the Yankees, he threw 66 2/3. In 2020 with the Seattle Mariners, he threw 7 2/3. Last year with us, he threw 93 innings. So you could say that's close to 100. Okay, in the minors. All right, bet. So if I would have bet, I would have lost right there, L.I. Yankee King. But you know what? That's why we degenerates. That's why we some degens here on the Nights of Degen. L.I. Yankee King, if you haven't checked out the rest of the channel, I implore you, bro, go ahead, check out the rest of the channel. We have a lot of stuff on this channel when it comes to football, when it comes to sports betting. On Friday, like, a lot of people like to know, the Friday is when the degens come out to play. Friday night on the channel, if you watch Tonight We Ride, you got the virtual betting when it comes to the horse racing, virtual fighting. It's a lot of stuff on this channel, L.I. Yankee King. And also as well, bro, when you want to come onto the panel, you can come onto the panel. I think I'm gonna do it this week. Do an open panel type of situation, like Yankee King. That yourself, I think Mikey Mazza. If Mikey Mazza's free, he could join. But yeah, we have an open panel that we run here sometimes on the show that we allow different people to come onto the panel to give their thoughts, as long as they're respectful to everybody else that's on the channel. But I'm gonna take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back. Let's go. Yes, sir. And like we've been talking, right? Every hit, every home run Judge is having, this conversation is coming up. Where's he's going? And what's the dollar signs? What's the figures? What's the dollar signs that's going to happen? He said, "Nah, I won't be as good as my boy Pete." Nah, LA Yankee King, you good, bro. You good, bro. I see you jump on a live with Joe McFly, bro. So whenever you want, you could definitely come here and have a conversation, bro. But yeah, where's Judge gonna go? Who's gonna sign him? And what jersey is he gonna wear next year? Right? With the season he's having right now, he's gonna be 31 next year. He's 30 right now. You gotta sign him. You have to sign him. The Yankees, they have to sign him. I don't care what the dollar signs is. I don't care what the figures are. You know, the conversation I had with Jason and Neaton, if you guys haven't watched it, go ahead, watch it. The video's doing real good on the channel. Is that what would be the nightmare scenario? Right? You got two scenarios: the New York Mets, the Boston Red Sox. Would you rather face Judge in your division, 16 games out the year? Or would you rather Judge be across town in Queens with the Mets, with your inner city rival? Starting next year with the new schedule, the Mets and the Yankees, they're going to play each other a lot more than they played each other in recent years, right? The Boston Red Sox are the Boston Red Sox. They ain't going nowhere when it comes to our rival. But if I had to say it, I know Yankee fans not going to like this. I would rather see him go to Boston than go to the New York Mets. Ultimately, I agree with you, LA Yankee King. I would rather him be in the NL. Absolutely. I would rather him go to the San Francisco Giants, right? But if I had a nightmare scenario where the two teams and the two options were the New York Mets and the Boston Red Sox, I honestly would rather him go to the Boston Red Sox than the New York Mets. And for one reason only. Met fans are petty and spiteful. And I know my mother's a Met fan, right? My mother, check this out. My mother has one rule, right? Her favorite team is the New York Mets, the Red Sox, and any other team that beats the Yankees. That's her favorite team. That's how she follows Major League Baseball. The Mets, the Red Sox, and any team that beats the Yankees. That's how she lives her life, right? So if I had to choose, it would be the Red Sox, because I don't want Judge to be in the same city as the Yankees and have to sit. What, us petty? Yes, Ron. You know you Met fans are petty, and as soon as you can be spiteful, you know you will be. But you guys have the right to be. Absolutely. But yeah, if I had to choose, I would rather him go to the Red Sox. I do not want to see billboards of Aaron Judge in Times Square in a Mets uniform. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Aaron Judge in the Mets blue and orange, no matter how big of a Knicks fan I am. As much as I love that orange and blue, I do not want to see Aaron Judge wearing the orange and blue with the Mets colors, with the Mets logo, I should say. No. Now, if he goes to the Red Sox, if he plays 81 games in Fenway Park, if he plays 81 games in Fenway Park, he probably can get to 70 home runs. He probably can get to 70 home runs. But like I said, If I had to choose, I want him to go to San Francisco. And like the conversation I was having with Scott Braun when he was on the show was, it's if there's any other team, if it is going to be any other team, I think it will be the San Francisco Giants. Now, if Steve Cohen is eliminated in the first round and the Mets get in the playoffs via a wild card team, a wild card instead of the division, all bets are off. And the Mets are going to blow out anyone for their player. Steve Cohen has the money, the resources. He is the richest owner in all of Major League Baseball, and it's not even close. It's not even close. Him personally, I think he has a net worth of, like, if I want to say 19 or 25 billion. Hal Steinbrenner from the Yankees, his net worth is 5 billion. So just put that in comparison. He basically doubles or triples every other owner under him when it comes to net worth. So the Mets and Steve Cohen, he's a diehard Met fan. He's one of those fans. He's like George Steinbrenner back in the day. His fandom has no bounds. He doesn't care how much money he spends. Hell, this is a guy who sells buildings just to sell buildings. But hey, whatever. Mikey Mazza, peace, brother. You know, Mikey Mazza, I think Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to do the open panel, Mazza. So if you're free either Wednesday or Thursday, make sure you come so you can jump on the open panel. Let me go through these chats real quick. And also, quick shout out. I want to give a shout out to Michael Caputo. Shout out my guy, Michael Caputo. Michael Caputo will be joining me at the NYY News event. That's October 11th. So I'm looking forward to seeing Michael Caputo up close and personal in real life. You know, I have a streak going on right now. Every person that I've met online, when we meet in real life, I'm taller than. So I want to keep this streak going. You know, so everybody that I met, you know, I love my man Frankie, but Frankie a little short. He needs help getting on the roller coasters, right? So everybody that I've met, that I become friends with online in the online space, when I meet them in real life and IRL, I'm a little bit taller. So I'm happy with that. You know, I got little thing going on, you know, a little baldness. So I'm happy with being tall. Shout out my man Keith Saunders. Keith, happy birthday, brother. My Virgo brother's birthday was yesterday. But Keith, happy birthday, my guy. Hope you had a good time. I saw you out with your shorty. Pictures you put on IG. Keith, salute to you, my brother. And Keith as well. I'm trying to make sure Keith comes with me to that event October 11th with the NYY News. Oh, damn, I guess we would never meet in person. Nah, Ron. Yeah, Ron. I know you taller than me, so I'm trying to avoid you. You know, I'm trying to avoid you. I'm trying to find, you know, I seen, you know, you was talking MBK. I couldn't find the tickets for the opening night. So I'm gonna do the one with Knicks Fan TV. So if I'm there with Knicks Fans TV, hopefully we can meet up around that time. I can't wait for basketball to start. Honestly, I really can't wait for basketball to start. I can't afford to go. Oh, damn, LI Yankee King. Crap. Let's see what we could do. Let's get my guy LI Yankee King to that event October 11th. Let's see what we can do. But let's talk a little bit this more. When it comes to Judge, do you guys think the Yankees are going to pony up that money to sign Judge? I'm not sure. You have Randy Levine come out. Right, Randy Levine came out and said, "Oh, you know, we offered him the highest contract that, you know, any Yankee has been offered," which is a lie. The money that Alex Rodriguez got with the Yankees in his extension after the 2007 season, 2008, around that time, the extension that Alex Rodriguez got was more than what they offered Judge. I think Alex Rodriguez's extension was $250 million he got from the Yankees. You guys offered Judge $230. I'm not sure if Randy Levine can do math, but $230 is not greater than $250. No, maybe it's my eyes. I don't got my glasses on, but I think $250 is greater than $230. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think $230 is more than $250? I'm not sure. But Randy Levine needs to get his eyes checked. Let's see. Yeah, bro. And hopefully, you know, the conversation I had with Pete Li, hopefully it comes true, because I think Cashman should retire. And if we can have the perfect scenario, Cashman retire, Derek Jeter's the new president, team operations, he hires a GM to do the day-to-day activities so he could be a father, you know, be a father man. be a father, I should say. And we re-signed Judge, and Derek Jeter is the one who names him the captain of the team. Maria, I was just talking about you. Hello, Hector. How are you doing? Let's go Yankees. Good game last night. Aaron Judge is the best. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Judge, you got to give it to him. Aaron Judge is having probably the single best season any Yankee has had with this franchise. You know, I wasn't around for the Great Depression days of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. I wasn't around for that. So I can't speak on that, right? Babe Ruth, he's a great player, but he also played in an era that if you hit a ground rule double, it was considered a home run. You know, so there's not that many stats that we could look back and see ground rule doubles if they turned into home runs. But he played in an era that if you hit a ground rule double, it was considered a home run. Like I said, Babe Ruth is a legend. He means a lot to this game. But he also played in an era that if you hit a ground rule double, it was a home run. Yes, the ballparks were bigger. Absolutely. Especially Yankee Stadium. It's like 430 to center field at 450. Like, they literally had to play where they literally had monuments in center field. Like, the first monuments were in center field, and you had to play around. That was in play. It's ridiculous. If you guys haven't played MLB The Show, go play MLB The Show. You can play the retro. You can play in the old stadiums. It's hilarious, honestly. It truly is. But let's look at the stats real quick. Hold on, because like I was saying, Aaron Judge, he's literally falling into the Triple Crown conversation, right? So when you look at it, Aaron Judge batting average. Aaron Judge has a 316 batting average. Luis Arraez with the Minnesota Twins, he has a 317 batting average. Xander Bogaerts has a 316 batting average, and Aaron Judge has a 316 batting average. So there's three players that are fighting for that batting title. How can anybody say that Shohei Ohtani is the MVP? Yo, Pete, you literally wrote it while I was saying it. He said, Phil Nevin said Ohtani is the MVP. LOL, he high. Listen, Pete, we saw how many guys that Phil Nevin sent around third base and got thrown out at the plate last year. If there's anybody who needs a drug test done to him, it's definitely Phil Nevin's. It's definitely, you know what happened? Phil Nevin took over as the manager, right? And as soon as he got to the desk, right, his managerial desk, because Joe Madden got fired, he opened up the drawer. He found Joe Madden's stash, right? He found his stash, and he's been drinking whatever tea, whatever that Joe Madden had in his drawer, and that's why he said that dumbass statement like that. That's definitely what it is. If anybody needs to be drug tested, it definitely needs to be Phil Nevin, right? Aaron Judge is the MVP, hands down. There's no comparison. There's nothing that you can say that's going to change my mind. Aaron Judge is the MVP over Shohei Ohtani. Now, we've had the conversation. Is Shohei Ohtani the best player in the game when it comes to talent and what he can do on the field? Yes. There's no arguing that. Shohei Ohtani is probably the most talented baseball player in the world, pitching and hitting, right? Aaron Judge leads in every offensive category except for batting average, not just in the American League, in all of baseball. The numbers that Aaron Judge is putting up is video game numbers. He's putting up video game numbers. If you play MLB The Show, these are the type of numbers that you put up. It's not a question. Aaron Judge is the MVP, point blank. MVP those are three words that make it, right? The abbreviations, right? It means most valuable player. If you take Aaron Judge off of this Yankee team, this team does not even have the wins that the Baltimore Orioles have. If Aaron Judge is not on this team is not even in the playoffs. We may be battling for that third wild card spot, but we're not in the playoffs. If you take Shohei Ohtani off of the Angels, they're still going to be in last place. They're still going to be the Angels. At the beginning of the year, the Angels were They were playing good. They were in first place for like the first month of the season, month and a half of the season. Then they went on a 14-game stretch that totally killed everything. Joe Madden got fired, and they've been downhill ever since then. Let's see. Pete says, to me, MVP is always about the hitting. 162 games, more than 30 starts on the mound. Yeah. Do you have some seasons that a pitcher is, just dominating and deserves the MVP? Absolutely. The year Justin Verlander won the MVP, he deserved it because he was filthy. The year Clayton Kershaw won the MVP and Cy Young in the National League, he deserved it. He was filthy. But when you're having Aaron Judge having the type of season he's having, about to literally fall into the conversation of the Triple Crown. Nobody, 2 weeks ago, we weren't even talking about the Triple Crown. Think about that. A week or two ago with Aaron Judge, we weren't talking about the Triple Crown. Like the conversations I had with Scott Braun and Jerry Ferrara, and even with Pete, the Triple Crown wasn't even a part of the conversation. But Aaron Judge literally fell into that conversation. Ever since the middle of July, right? I think it's July 12th, around that. Ever since the middle of July, Aaron Judge is hitting over 400. Historically, in the second half of the season, Aaron Judge has a 230 batting average, historically in his career, except for this season. Since the middle of July 12th, around that area, like I said, Aaron Judge is hitting over 400. Like, that's it's laughable that Aaron Judge is just literally obliterating the baseball. We've been watching the Yankees. I know I've been watching the Yankees for the past 20 years, right? I've never seen a player locked in the way that Aaron Judge is locked in. Like, honestly, the last player that I can recall that every at bat was locked in. Every at bat, he didn't give up. He took every at bat serious. The last player that I know to have that mentality was Victor Martinez when he was with the Detroit Tigers, when he won a batting title. Victor Martinez was the only player that I've seen in my life that every at bat, every pitch, he took serious, like it was his last pitch or last at bat. That's what I'm seeing out of Aaron Judge. He doesn't waste at bats. Anytime he gets a pitch that he almost knocks it out the park and he foul tips it off, you could just see the look on his face. But he doesn't let that get to him. He gets back into the bat. He gets back into the box, and he focuses. Now, to be this locked in and this focused, as somebody who suffers from ADHD, it's hard to be this focused, and it's hard to be locked in the way that Aaron Judge is. Whatever the Yankees have to do to retain this man, they need to do it. Whether that's $350 million or whether that's $400 million, you need to sign Judge. If you have to divert some of his payments to 10, 20 years after he retired, then do that. The same way how the Washington Nationals try to do that to Juan Soto. Offered him a contract of $400 million. Basically, $250 of it was upfront guaranteed. The rest of it was diverted. Why can't the Yankees do that? They got the money to do that. They got the resources. I know it's very easy for me to try to spend somebody else's money, but when you're the Yankees, you're the most valuable franchise in this game, second behind the Dallas Cowboys. When you have this much money, go out there and spend it. Pre-pandemic, the Yankees they had 6 years of $600 billion in profit from the stadium alone, not even the TV deals, not even the contract deals. Now you have streaming involved. You have the money to pay Judge. Pay the man. Period. If some of your shareholder friends, they can't go to the Hamptons and ride a few horses for 1 weekend out the year, God forbid, 1 weekend out the year, they can't go to the Hamptons to live it up. God forbid. Sign Judge. Pay this man. If you got to go one day out the week eating McDonald's, go ahead. I'll buy it for you. You can't have steak and lobster every day. It's not healthy for you. Let's see, my man Eli. He said, let's do this. Ohtani and Judge go down with season-ending injuries in April. Where are the Yankees and Angels? Yeah, bingo. With the Angels, you still got Mike Trout. Who do you have on this Yankee team that comes close to the output and the production that Mike Trout gives you? Who do you have? Gleyber Torres? Rizzo, Stanton, DJ? They're not even coming close to the production that Mike Trout gives you. My man Pete says, the one thing with Ohtani, he's not the best hitter or pitcher. Hard to give a guy the MVP just because he's the only guy who does both. Now, yeah, Pete, I see what you're talking, but Ohtani, pitching-wise, he is pitching to a 2.50 ERA. Right, let me see. And this is the thing with Ohtani. It's hard looking up his pitch. I have no idea. Like, Baseball Savant, like Baseball Reference, it's hard because they don't have his pitching numbers. Or maybe I'm just looking them up wrong. But they only have his hitting numbers. They don't have his pitching numbers. You got to figure this out, man. You got a two-way player. But hitting-wise, let's just talk about hitting. He's hitting 266, 34 home runs, 89 RBIs. And how many games? In 141 games this year, right? 141 games. Now, if you do the pitching side of things, let me see. Caputo. I was just talking about you, Caputo. Hope you good, baby. Hope you good, brother. All right, so this is Ohtani's numbers for this year, right? So in 25 games, Ohtani, he has a 13-8 record. He's pitching to an ERA 2.43. He has 140 in 148 innings. He has 196 strikeouts. So he does have decent numbers, solid numbers for a starting pitcher. You know, and they are better than last year. And that's the thing. His pitching numbers are way better than what they were last year. Hitting-wise, when you talk about his hitting, I think his hitting last year and this year are almost the same. Let's see. Yeah, last year he was batting 257. He had 46 home runs last year, 100 RBIs. This year, 34 home runs and 89 RBIs. So I'm not sure. He's not going to get to the 46 home runs that he had last year, but he is pitching a lot better this year than he was last year, right? If you prorate the at-bats, Ohtani. Oh, yeah, and talk about Pujols, 700. He is literally on the way, 2 away from 700. Albert Pujols, man, the machine. Let's see, Michael Caputo. It's been a while that I came on a vid to talk to you. Yes, sir. Listen, Capoots. This I'm putting it right now. I'm putting it out there right now. This Wednesday, Capoots, we're gonna have the open panel. So Caputo, make sure you're around 12 o'clock. Love to have you on. Same thing with my man NY Yankee King. NY Yankee King. Just know this Wednesday at 12 p.m. you will have the show starting at 11. So from 11 to 12, we talk regular, and then at 12 p.m. we'll have the open panel for about 30 minutes so you and Caputo could come on. But Caputo, I better see you there October 11th, bro. I swear to God. I swear that you backed out on that bet we had, but I better see you there October 11th. And he might win the Triple Crown. He might run AP 42, almost 43. But yeah, if you look at the numbers, hitting wise, I don't think Ohtani is going to get to 46 home runs like he had last year. No, if he goes over the next 12 games, goes on a hot streak and get to 40 home runs, cool. But he's not going to get to 46 home runs last year, like he did last year. And I think that was what put him over in the MVP conversation that last month of the season when he went on a stretch and he got to 46 home runs. I think that's what put him over the mark when it comes to the MVP conversation. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that when they are having this conversation for MVP and Ohtani. Last year, Ohtani, to end the season, he was a god. He was basically Babe Ruth at the plate. He ended the season with 46 home runs, 100 RBIs. His pitching was solid last year. Wasn't great, but it was solid. And that's what got him the MVP. This year, Aaron Judge is having so much a way better season, just complete overall. Aaron Judge is gonna he's gonna basically he's almost gonna win the batting. I mean, the Triple Crown. Since the middle of July, Aaron Judge is hitting over 400. In August, he had no protection, but he was still able to hit over 400. That's the crazy thing. That's how great of a hitter Aaron Judge is. When you look, he took the walks. He didn't go out of the way. He didn't beat himself. He took the walks when they weren't pitching to him. Ultimately, was it good for our team? No. But this team is better with Judge than the Angels are with Ohtani. So let's stop this conversation. You know, it's just beating a dead horse. It's basically just listen to yourself in an echo chamber. Judge is the MVP. Ohtani second up. You can have your flowers. Ohtani, you can get it next year. Whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Let me look at a few of the chats before we go out. My man Capu said the stadium will be jam-packed. Do you know anyone going to those games? I heard the tickets are through the roof. Yeah. Tickets are crazy, bro. I was trying to look at some of these tickets. No. I'm not hurting my wallet. You see, if he does not get the 46, it's still Aaron. So in other words, it's got to be Aaron. Yeah. NY Yankee King. Oh, and Judge is 14 home runs away from Barry Bonds' record. Yeah. The best, I think, over 12. We got 12 games left. Aaron Judge's best 12-game span when it comes to home runs was 13. Right? He did 13 over a 12-game span. I think it was this year it happened as well. Yeah, this year. So if that happens, he'll be one away from Bonds or tying Bonds. I don't know. Hey, I would love to see him break Bonds' record, Ally, but I don't think it's going to be this year. But guys, we are wrapping up. This has been another awesome episode of Yankees Morning Brew. I want to give a quick shout out to the chat. NY Yankee King, my guy. Salute. 3 capital S's. Thank you for coming through. As well, Eric Wallace. Salute. Michael Caputo. Love you, my guy. Pete, of course, my man Pete. Pete has been following me ever since I was a part of For the Love of the Game. Pete, salute, my guy. As well, my man Keith Saunders. Maria, I see you, Maria. Maria is the lieutenant of the watch-alongs. And as well, guys, follow my guys, Still Nick fans. Ron from Still Nick fans, man. Follow my man. And of course, Mikey Maz and the 4 Train Express. You'll probably see Mikey Maz on Wednesday for the open panel. So hopefully Caputo and NY Yankee King will join us on an open panel. Have a great conversation. But guys, I am your guy Hector, host of the Yankee Morning Brew. Salute to you, my brother. You have a good day as well. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But I'm out. Peace. And like I said, tomorrow we will be having on Derek from NYY Recap. So get ready for a great conversation. And like I just now said, and I'm out and up here.